It was totally
Yes, I mean, Amorim's the gaffer. He wears the gaffer's hat. And when he saw Old Trafford, he said, I'll have a piece of that. He doesn't coach the Scousers because they are freaking shite. He coaches Man United because we're fucking dynamite.
What a game. What a game.
What a game. We didn't
Game.
see that coming, did we?
No, but
But
there are
that's
so
it.
many positives for their performance in that game. After the Salah penalty, I just felt mentally they would crumble, but they held on. That was the part that impressed me the most. The fact that when Liverpool was up, they didn't crumble. It was, in fact, it was a case in question.
No team
Felt,
in football history has beaten Liverpool more than Manchester United have.
oh, sure,
We have
absolutely.
beaten them more than any
Historically, yes.
other team in their history.
Yeah, sure.
So anybody, so they cannot shut up. They cannot they cannot make us shut up. And no matter how high they are, and I said it before, when United were doing well under Alex Ferguson during the heydays in the 1990s,
Sure.
especially, and occasionally in the 2000s, Liverpool used to give us bloody nose all the time.
Of course, of
When
course.
they had shit
Those days
teams,
of
they used to
Fernando
hurt
Torres
us.
versus Vidic.
Yes, they
But
used to hurt us. So I had no doubt, and that we would give them the same dose of medicine. Ever since that 7-0 beating,
Robin, under Ten Hag.
yes, ever since that, we've not made it easy for Liverpool ever again. I don't think any manager of Man United on their worst day will allow Liverpool do that to them ever again
Yeah.
because and they're flying high. They played well, Liverpool.
Oh, yeah.
I watched it with my sister. She was very upset about Trent Arnold. Is it Trent Arnold? Arnold Alexander.
Yeah.
Trent Arnold Alexander. She was complaining about the way Darlow was getting the better of him
Yes.
on that
Yeah.
flank. And I was surprised because Darlow isn't even a left-sided player. I mean, he's a
Yeah,
right-sided player. He got
but
a yellow card.
I'm sure Amorim would have looked at Trent Arnold's game that defending wasn't one of his, you know,
One of his strong suits,
yeah.
yes.
So all he wanted to do was isolate him with somebody and then keep running at him, and then he would have
Now
issues.
imagine, I mean, Dallo is a good right back, but I mean, imagine if we had a proper left back running at him in that kind of situation.
Sure.
Imagine if we had a fit Luke Shaw,
Yeah.
running at him. Well, last year is not as good. He's just not got the quality. Dallo is very good, but he's playing out of position. I mean, he's not left-footed.
Sure.
I was even thinking that they would even put, but Mazraoui hasn't played on the left at all to compensate.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think that the way the coach looks at it, he gives so much off the right that they would lose more by playing Dallo in his natural position, that they get so much from Mazraoui on that right side when he combines with Ahmad. And so that's a very strong right side. The defense is still, I mean, the goalkeeper had a good game, but the defense is still I'd say it's shaky. It's still shaky. I mean, we saw the goalkeeper come out for some corners and hold them down, but I never felt comfortable when the ball went in the box. You never feel really comfortable that they were well drilled enough for United to stop it.
Yeah.
But in open play, we did very well. Ugarte was very, very good in midfield.
Yeah, sure.
We had a lot of possession. You know, it's not a lot of
Ugarte
times.
and Mino.
Yes, Ugarte and Mino. And they held a lot of possession. They held the game together. And you saw Anfield's 12th man being the crowd.
Yeah,
And you
sure.
see how the crowd reacts to free kicks, penalties, fouls. They react in a way that other fans don't react. Other fans just cheer goals. And if you've done something particularly bad, they just boo. Anfield fans, they act like a referee, and they
Yeah, sure.
overshout when you do something well,
They're
and they
just like that.
overshout for yes,
They're just like that.
and that's why they're called the 12th man. So to defeat Anfield, you're actually playing a man down. And they had a very, very good side. As good a side as they could have. I know they want to make
Of
the
course.
excuse that Sloboslai wasn't.
In terms of
Yes,
quality, they had the better players. But
Yes.
Manchester United played with more conviction, more cohesion. They were more organized. And when they lost the ball, you can see everyone picking his man. I think they had enough time to drill themselves in defensive transitions. Once they lost the ball, that was the part that really, you know, made me happy. They knew what to do, fell back into their shape, they picked their men, and they were pressing ferociously. I mean, they didn't allow Liverpool to settle. And it was, at the end of the day, I think there are a lot of positives. But do we now carry this form against playing lesser teams, or we just recline the way we did after the Man City victory? That's just where
I think
I'm
that
a
we'll
little
still
worried.
recline. I think we'll still recline because, like I said, we're not balanced on that left side. We don't have
Yes, that
a
left side
proper
is a
left
real,
sided.
really big issue. That left side.
Yes.
But credit to
And
Dallo.
also,
Dallo being a
yes,
right-footed player, he was able to cross so many times the left leg. I think it's a lot of credit to him because normally when you are a right-sided player, you're on the left, you have to turn to your right leg. But he kept crossing balls. There were like two balls that were intercepted from crosses from his left leg that could have been slotted in. So I think he has tried his bit, but they need a proper left wing back. They need a proper
yes,
left.
they do. From set piece play, because you see, the reason why United are weak at set piece play is because set piece play is something that you practice during the off season. You drill, you drill, you drill. You can spend hours or an entire week just drilling your set piece plays, your defensive formations, and so on and so forth. And he's coming in the middle of the season to teach them an entire new philosophy. So their set piece play is going to be disorganized. They're still trying to, because they're not naturally knowing who to mark or who to run or who to pick up because they're not used to playing in that position. They're used to knowing that, oh, if it's coming down the flank, then definitely it's the fullback that picks up. But Martinez is now playing in the back three. So now he has to pick up a player that maybe he wasn't used to having to pick up in the back four. And
Yeah,
Dallo and on the other side, Mazraoui also, Mazraoui is an excellent player and he's very adaptable. And I think that this kind of style suits kind of players have played in different leagues and different formations, so they
sure,
know the
sure.
kind of game that they want to play.
Yeah,
But they're getting it, but it's not going to come overnight. We're still going to continue to have bad results
of course.
because we're not well
Agree.
drilled. We still, yes,
It's going to
where we
be a
don't
battle.
quite have the personnel.
In
But
fact, there
I
was a
can see
corner
it.
kick. There was a corner kick where I saw Maino trying to defend against Van Dijk. And I was praying in my mind, I hope this ball doesn't get to Van Dijk here because, I mean, the result was almost self-evident. But luckily, they were able to mop up. So it shows that they haven't quite gotten that set piece defending right. And it will take several drills and more games. And so that area
Yes,
is, I think, is one that you actually notice.
yes. And we've heard the title race, so because I mean, they were supposed to get
We have.
away, but now there's supposed to
Imagine
be
if
9 or
Arsenal
10
won
points.
yesterday.
Yes, we just, we tore their shirt. We always like to do something mean to all these Arsenals and Liverpools whenever they want to shine. When
Remember
Arsenal
last
were
season,
on
we bundled
49,
them
we
out
were
of
the
the
ones that
FA.
stopped their
We were the one
unbeaten
that
run.
eliminated them from the FA Cup last season. And it was Ahmad.
Yes, now.
It was the
We are
same
the one
Ahmad.
that ended, we are also the one that ended their invincibles.
Yes, yes, yes.
We ended there. So when they say they were invincible, say, when did you stop being invincible? Do you know what happened on that day? What happened? Was it not the devil that happened to you on that day? It was the devil that happened to you. We are the ones that, and ever since then, they've not won a title. But I'm being mean. Let
It
me
just
enjoy.
shows that this game just shows that, of course, they're still in pole position, but I don't think you can write off the chasing pack just yet. Both Arsenal and Chelsea.
I don't think that, let me be honest, I don't see anybody catching Liverpool. Not because Liverpool are so strong,
Not
but
even
because the chasing
Chelsea.
pack are so inconsistent.
Yes,
It's
that's
not so
just
much because Liverpool are
that's just
fantastic.
that's just
Chelsea are dropping too many points.
yeah,
City have dropped too many points. So even
yeah,
if City becomes City now, they're just too far behind.
yeah, sure,
Liverpool are going to drop enough points for City to challenge again.
of course.
Um, Forest, Forest could do what Leicester City did and Leeds and Blackburn Rovers did. These are the small teams that won the Premier League back in the day. One of um, can they do it? Like I said, they have the caliber,
I doubt very much. But what I feel
they have the
Forest could
history
do,
of being
they could
one
get
of the
into
greater
Europe.
clubs in
They
England.
could get into Europe. but certainly not
Yes,
Champions
they
League.
could get into Europe. Who was this chap that used to manage them? He's late now. Brian
Oh,
Clough.
okay, Brian Clough.
Brian Clough.
Okay.
He was the one that made them great. I remember during the time that, yeah, he made them a very, very good team. I think it was in the 70s and the
Yeah.
80s. I'm not sure
I
exactly
think they
when.
are the first English
Um,
side to win the European Cup
yes, they've won it twice.
twice.
They've
Yeah.
won it twice. The Champions League, what we call the Champions League now. That's the
Wow.
top European, yes, the best, something that not every
And those
club
were
in the
the
Premier
days
League
that
is.
it was the best team that was playing, not now that they'll pick two, three, four. Those were the days of the
Yes,
best team in the league. So it was more competitive, I guess.
yes, it was more competitive. It was a very tough time. But when you look at Nottingham Forest, I'm going to have a good look at them the next time that they come up and play and look at their lineup. I mean, off the top of my head, I can only remember Elanga, but I know that there's other players. The Nigerian striker that was for them, he's been injured or he's not been the one playing
They
and
have
scoring of late.
Nigerian defender as well, Olaino.
I know,
Olaino
yes,
is
I know
there.
it's there.
And then they have this 6'5" Serbian defender. That guy is a colossus in their defense. He was one that scored the headed goal from the corner against Man U. He can head anything in the air. So I think it's just a well-drilled team, not too much of flair, but they defend well, they're organized, and then they have loads of pace. Elanga and Hudson Odoi are really very quick. And then there's Chris Wood as well, who has been fairly consistent.
Chris
I think,
Wood, yes. Chris Wood
yeah, I
is a
think
traditional big number nine
nine,
striker.
yes, yes,
Yeah, he
yes,
uses power and strength and he gets his goals. If you put the ball in the box, he'll put it away. So they play like an old, I think they play a 4-4-2. I think they play an
four
old
four
school
two.
style of football.
Yeah,
Um, but I just don't think that they will be consistent enough
yeah.
to do that. I
It looks
think
like
that
one
for
of the
them,
teams where if they lose one or two key players, they could be in for it. Really.
yeah, I think that what they can aim for is top six. I don't think that when we come to the business end of the season, that I don't think they're going to be anywhere near that top four. I think that they're going to do well. They're like a Brighton. Remember when Brighton were doing really well for a long time and then
Yeah,
they just started getting whooped. So I think that it's only really Chelsea and Arsenal. And
yeah.
Arsenal and the two, they don't fill me with any confidence, Chelsea and Arsenal. That's why
But Arsenal, we're
City,
playing Arsenal next. I think it's FA Cup weekend next week. What are our
yes, it's
chances?
FA Cup weekend.
Of course, this performance will give them a lot of confidence. But do you think we stand a chance against Arsenal next week?
Well, Arsenal, they get mouth.
It's just
I
this
think
set
that
piece thing that I'm scared of.
they're expecting to take us down, but they don't have their favorite boy Saka with them.
Of
But
course.
they
Saka
have
is not
that evil
injured.
boy,
Of course.
Nwaneri.
Nwaneri,
Yes,
Nwaneri.
but I
But
think he picked up an injury yesterday as well.
yes, he did. He picked
He
up an
picked up a
injury.
knock.
But the fact that Saka didn't play really showed yesterday. The likes of Martinelli and Trossard, they are not quite the same. They don't give you the same effect. And it really showed.
Mm.
You should have seen the second half of yesterday's game. Brighton really bullied them. Brighton really bullied them. And they didn't have the opportunities of those set pieces and corner kicks, So
Unfortunately, the missus had control of the remote and was watching Squid Game too. So I couldn't watch the game.
I think Man U has a chance. I think they have a chance, really.
A chance, yes. I honestly think that they do. I think if they can build off this game that they've just had, I think Arsenal are coming in weak. And Arsenal, I don't know whether they're really focused on whether they want to focus on Champions League or Premier League or what have
Or
you. I
the
think
FA
that FA
Cup,
Cup for
yeah.
Amorim is a big deal because he's not going to get into any competition unless either he wins the FA Cup and he can
Yeah.
get to Europa League, or he wins the what do you call it? UEFA Cup that
UEFA
he's
Cup,
in now.
yes,
Europa
yes.
League, yeah, Europa Cup and
If
gets
he
into
wins the
Champions
UEFA
League.
Cup, then that's automatic.
That's automatic champion. So those are the only two ways that he can play any European football
Football, yeah.
next season. He's not getting in through the league. We're not doing anything in the league. In fact, I'm keeping a close eye on our point score. I don't I just want us to get past that 40, let's say 44,
Yeah,
44 points.
yeah, sure.
I've
So
seen teams get relegated with over 40 points. I think 44 points should be safe
should be safe,
mathematically.
yeah. I'm
Uh,
not in doubt that they won't get relegated. It's just that now you have a whole week to train. Before we play Arsenal again, we're going to have a whole week to train. It's unlike that
yeah,
busy December period that we are playing games every three days. So I think that should count for something, really. At least there'll be a little bit more cohesion. People are beginning to form partnerships. There's a bit more understanding. Now we can see chemistry between Ugarte and Maino. There's a little partnerships all around the place. They didn't look very chaotic today. They were a bit more organized. And if you look at the possession statistics, it was 50 something to 40 something. It wasn't as if we went to Anfield to just defend and pack the bus. No, we went toe to
yes,
toe. We had opportunities to win. Look at that Hoyland's chance earlier on in the game. So Liverpool looked shaky, and this is an attack that you didn't think was going to pose any threat prior to the game. So I think they can actually build on this. Against